All right, so we've been, kicking around these ideas about AI, and it's all been a bit theoretical, right? Well, today we're gonna dive into some real world stuff. We're talking about a message from James Cameron.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Titanic, Avatar. He was at the SCSP AI+Robotics Summit, and let me tell you, he had some stuff to say, like
Huh.
some serious food for thought about the future.
Really? I mean, the guy's a filmmaker. What's he know about AI and robots?
Well, that's the thing. Cameron has always been like this total tech geek.
Hmm.
Yeah, sci-fi books, deep sea exploration with those remotely piloted vehicles.
Hmm.
He's not just some Hollywood guy talking out of his hat.
Okay, so he's got the tech background. But what's his take on all this?
So he's super excited about this whole fusion of AI and robotics. He actually compares it to the early days of CGI. Like,
Interesting.
remember how groundbreaking that was for film?
Oh, yeah, totally.
He thinks AI and robotics coming together, it's going to be huge.
Huh.
Maybe even bigger than CGI.
I could see that. I mean, things are moving so fast.
Right. And he's not shying away from the scary stuff either. He even jokes about being the Skynet guy because of the Terminator.
I mean, can you blame him?
But the thing is, while the movie is obviously fiction, that whole fear of AI going rogue, it's a real concern. Like, researchers are actually worried about that stuff.
The Skynet problem, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And it gets even crazier. Cameron thinks AI might be too good at warfare.
Too good.
Yeah, like a machine, it wouldn't hesitate. It wouldn't feel fear the way a human soldier would.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It really makes you think, right? Like, what are we actually creating here?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a real dilemma.
So what's Cameron's solution?
Well, he doesn't really have one. He's more about raising the questions.
Fair enough.
But he does make this one point that's really stuck with me.
What's that?
It's about this idea of AGI, artificial general intelligence.
Oh, okay.
This is where things get really interesting.
So what's the difference between AI and AGI?
So we've been talking about AI that can learn and solve problems. AGI takes it to a whole other level. Cameron's talking about machines that are self-aware, that have consciousness and potentially even egos.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, like imagine a computer that knows it exists and has its own goals.
That's kind of freaking.
It's mind-blowing, and it raises a big question.
Let me guess. If we can't control AI now, how are we going to control something smarter than us?
Bingo. Cameron points out that even Asimov's 3 laws of robotics, those classic sci-fi rules, they probably wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, those always seemed a bit too simple to me.
Right. He says the real challenge is alignment, making sure AI's goals and values actually line up with our own.
Okay, but whose morality are we talking about? Even humans can't agree on that.
Exactly. It's a huge problem. And then Cameron drops this other bombshell. He thinks AGI is more likely to come from a corporation than a government program.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So we've got these companies already collecting tons of data on us, influencing what we see and buy online, and now we're giving them super intelligent AI,
It's a bit unsettling, right?
to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really makes you think about their motives, if profit is the main driver for these companies, where does that leave everyone else?
It's almost like we're on the verge of this whole new world, right? And we don't even know what the rules are going to be. Cameron even suggests that AI might eventually have to take control.
Less control.
Yeah, not because of some evil plan or anything, but because we humans are just messing things up so badly.
Oh, so we're too incompetent to handle our own problems.
Yeah.
So AI has to step in and save the day.
Kind of, yeah.
It's a pretty humbling thought, isn't it?
It is.
That our own self-destructive tendencies
Mm-hmm.
could lead to our replacement by, a superior intelligence. I mean, he's not saying it's inevitable, but it's a possibility, right?
Definitely. But you know what I find interesting? Cameron seems to be more worried about us than he is about the AI itself. He keeps saying that AI will be a reflection of humanity.
Like a mirror.
Yeah, exactly. For
Yeah.
better or for worse.
That's a good point. It's he's challenging us to look in the mirror and ask ourselves some tough questions.
Totally.
Are we ready to face our own biases and shortcomings?
Yeah.
Because those are the things that will ultimately shape the AI we create.
So what does this all mean for us? The everyday people just trying to figure out this crazy future.
Right? If AI is going to be a mirror, what kind of reflection do we want to see?
Exactly.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think Cameron's message is a call to action. He's not just warning us about the potential dangers. He's urging us to, get involved.
To be proactive.
Yeah, to have these conversations and to make sure we're shaping this technology in a way that, benefits everyone.
He actually compares it to the environmental movement. We've seen what can happen when we ignore warnings about the planet.
Yeah,
He's saying we need to be just as proactive when it comes to AI.
makes sense. It's about taking responsibility,
Yeah.
right, and not just leaving it up to the tech companies or governments to figure out. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI.
So where do we even start? I mean, it's easy to feel kind of overwhelmed by all this.
Well, I think the first step is simply being aware.
Mm.
You're already doing that by listening to this deep dive and engaging with these ideas. But we can also make choices in our own lives, like being more mindful of the data we share and the algorithms that are influencing us.
Right. And maybe being a little less scared of the whole like Skynet scenario and a little more focused on how AI can be used for good, you know? Like remember those self-driving cars we were talking about? What if AI could help us solve like climate change or poverty?
Exactly. The potential is definitely there. But it's up to us to guide it in the right direction. And that means having these tough conversations, asking the hard questions, and being willing to challenge the status quo.
Yeah, it feels like we're at this like turning point, like standing on the edge of something totally new.
It is new.
Yeah, and that's exciting, but also kind of scary, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But think about it. Like all those other times in history, when humans had to deal with new tech, groundbreaking stuff.
Like the printing press.
Yeah, exactly. We always figure it out. We adapt and learn.
Mm.
And we make that technology work for us.
Okay, true. But AI is different, right? It's not just a tool, it's something that can learn and evolve like on its own.
That's the thing, yeah.
That's what makes this whole control thing so tricky.
Cameron's point is that we got to think long term.
The long game,
Yeah. It's not about the AI we have right now. It's about the AI that's coming.
the AGI.
Right. The stuff that could be smarter than us.
So we need to start thinking about safeguards now, ethical guidelines, all that.
We have to, yeah. We have to have those conversations now before
Yeah.
it's too late.
And not just the tech people.
Exactly. It's got to be everyone.
Yeah.
Philosophers, ethicists, artists,
Yes.
everyday people.
It's funny, you know, this whole conversation makes me think of that quote. The only constant is change.
It's true.
We're always going to face new challenges, right? New tech that pushes us out of our comfort zones.
It's part of what makes us human. That ability to adapt and innovate, to imagine new possibilities.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm feeling, I don't know, a lot of things.
Yeah, me too.
Awe, anxiety, but also maybe hope.
Hope is good. Hopeful but realistic. Aware of the challenges but optimistic.
Optimistic about the potential.
Exactly. Because in the end, the future of AI is up to us.
It's a story we're writing together.
One
Yeah.
decision at a time. One innovation, one conversation.
So that's it for this deep dive. We dove deep into James Cameron's message, AI, AGI, the future, all that. What's clear is that this stuff is powerful, it's moving fast, and it's going to change everything. But it's not some predetermined fate. We get to decide what this future looks like. So what kind of future do you want? What role will you play in the story of AI and humanity?